Today, we're at Jillna's secret garden. Every aspect of this garden reflects her interest. So you have an entertainment area, you have a fire pit, and also for relaxation from this hectic life is that there's an area she has created for her jacuzzi. And also the children have an area. But the beauty about also her plants, her shrubs, is that she's created these textures and colors that are so overwhelming and so relaxing that when you come here, you just feel this feeling of zen. So I am Alice and I'm the Red Soil Gardener. Let's have a deeper look at her garden. Hi Jillna, my gosh, thank you so much for inviting us.
Oh.
It's such a pleasure and I feel very honoured to be in your beautiful garden.
No, Alice, thank you. You know, I actually follow Red Soil on Instagram and I love your propagation tips. So having you here is actually an honour.
Now tell me Jillna, you know your garden is so beautiful. Now when you bought it, was the garden as amazing as it is now?
So we bought it about 6 years ago. The whole property was very run down and I remember I had about 4 months to transform it. So what I decided to do is create different pockets of seating. You know, I was told once that there is never enough seating in a garden. You can create different areas, you know, and have an interest in each area. So this space is my zen space, if I may call it. A friend of mine said to me, in terms of feng shui, this has the most beautiful qi. It's got the most amazing energy because we have kind of enclosed it with all these lovely plants. And when you do that, you control the good qi from escaping. And so this is probably the most peaceful part of my garden.
And what about this?
So actually this is a sculpture my mother-in-law, Mary Collis, did, and she's an artist, well known. And she, you know, we come from a creative family. And I always love the sculptures in her garden. You know, there's always, again, an interest, a detail that you're looking at. So hence I thought, you know, splash some colour, apart from the colours of the flowers and the plants. There's nothing like art, putting some art, sculpture in your garden.
Beautiful.
You know, so yeah.
And then I'm just walking here, I see a clamp and also I love your flamingos.
Yeah, my clamshell again, a bit of character, love for the coast. Flamingos, you know, love for the Nevasha lakes and just little bits of character really. You know?
Yeah, and it does, you know, it's sort of eye-catching, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Especially if you're sitting there in the jacuzzi and then you see this. It's really beautiful. And I saw something that I really love is your hibiscus mutabilis. Tell us about that, because you propagate it.
Yes. So this is probably one of my favorite features in our garden. It's what is known as the Chinese rose also. And it comes on with a white flower on the first day. On the second day, it turns slowly to pink with a double shade. I mean, it's incredible. And on the third day, it dies. So it only lives for 3 days. And to get this bush effect, what I do is every time it's finished flowering, I cut it down all the way to the bottom. And when I cut it down, all the thick stems is what I pot again to create other propagation. You know, you can propagate it from just the stem.
And how long does it take you when you propagate it and stick it in? Do you stick it in the soil or you do it in a pot?
I prefer it in a pot because I can control it. I would say maybe a month because you'll start seeing shoots. And same thing with this, you know, you take it down and it's incredible because it only gives me this height. It's like a little bush. It encloses again this area. So it's not going wild and dry and, you know, it's not losing shape.
I love the way you've done this golden palm, just planted here against the heliconia. How artistic! And all these beautiful colours.
So we've got the shrimp plant. You know, I love birds and I love bees and I love especially the sunbirds that come and they love sucking, you know, the nectar from all these. So again, different texture. You know, you've got the flat leaf flower, and then
Beautiful.
against this, it's just colour, just colour.
Artistic painting. And tell us here.
Now, these are the giant dahlias, dahlia trees actually, which grow into this massive bush. And shall I tell you, I absolutely love this flower because I've never seen this bush not flower. I've had flowers on it probably throughout the year.
Yes.
It's absolutely beautiful, and it's just the bees absolutely love it. I mean, I've got tons of bees on this.
Oh, lovely.
Again, you can, you know, once it dries, you cut it back down.
Yes.
You can propagate it.
Yes.
You can probably tell me about the propagation of this one.
I did do an episode on propagation from the stem.
Oh, wow.
Where I actually, all my giant dahlias, I propagate them from the stem. And where you get the node, you can either lie it horizontally and they'll get the shooting like this, or just stick it in the soil like that.
So you almost get 3 plants
you
out of one.
can get a lot of plants out of it. Yes.
Amazing. Well, I know a lot of people in the Crescent have eyes on this one.
I know.
As you've put them on the front.
And tell us about this texture here, because I love it. The way you've got everything happening, but it looks amazing.
Maybe because I paint also, I've got that depth of, I like depth of field. So you've got the foreground, you've got the middle, and then the back.
Yes.
So you've got all that pink bougainvillea. When it's in bloom, it's just stunning.
Yes.
You've got the monstera, the Alice, you can probably help me with that
That's
name.
the variegated monstera.
The variegated white and green.
Yes.
So you've got, again, the texture, the different lines it's showing against the cheese, what I call the cheese plant, which is another monstera.
Yes.
The ferns too.
Yes.
Again, a bit of bougainvillea in the mix of it, because when bougainvillea flowers, it doesn't need any maintenance, and it just produces the most beautiful flowers.
And then now, September is the bougainvillea season. Yes. And tell me, the other thing I was interested is, here you got your bird
bath.
But your bird bath happening here, and you feed them.
I love my birds, and you know what? They chirp early in the morning. They wake us up. We don't need alarm clocks.
I can hear them now.
And so again, texture. You know, you've got the limes coming in, the lime of the plant, and when the moonflower. The moonflower's in bloom.
Yes.
It's all pink. It's just
and
stunning.
then the fragrance.
And the fragrance.
Yeah, beautiful. Now tell me the other thing. You collect stones, as you said.
I do.
I know it's a bit of an obsession. I have to.
So it's awful because I, you know, when I do weddings up country, being a wedding planner, I always want the memory from the place. And as I go in trucks, probably naughty.
Yes.
But I do pick up 1 or 2 rocks that I absolutely love, and here it arrives.
Yes.
You know. So we've got, again, you know, just a little interest of, you know, and you can use a Madeira. This is just a slab of Madeira.
Yes, I love the idea.
As you just put it on a piece of stone or something, and it becomes your bird bath.
Fantastic. This is an elephant ear there.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised that you've kept it like that, because I have mine in a basket, which is...
In a basket,
But
wow.
I like that idea.
So, this... Actually, it was on the tree and it fell off, and it wasn't happy on
and
the
it's
tree.
actually looking
it wasn't
really
doing
well.
really well on the tree. So I thought, oh, well, it seems to have a casing, almost a nest.
Yes.
And so I just, again, a little detail. And you can see the new leaves are coming out.
Yes, it looks very happy.
You know, just propped it there.
One of the things that I just love about your garden, and actually I've just decided to do under one of my trees, is that I love the way you've put those daisies on the ground and had these borders.
Well, Alice, you know, I've seen your garden and I love it because it's a garden. Actually, I love gardens in abundance, what we call, you know, wild and everything.
Thank you.
But yeah, occasionally, you know, I also like to tame them a bit. So tame the pockets, what I call. So I've created this border. There are I think most of my have some
borders,
form of a border.
Yes.
And they really work because the daisies just are ever in bloom. So they just give it a nice enclosure, a feel of enclosure.
And tell me, with these daisies, it's that basically they do like full sun or semi-sun?
You know, like most flowering plants, they love sun.
Yes.
And if you put them in, if there's some form of direction of sun coming onto them, they'll flower. Like you'll see a patch not flowering as well. There is this, which is really flowering here.
Yes.
You know, I think most of my flowers are happy when they've got a bit of sun coming
a bit of sun.
through.
I mean, what you were telling me, which is absolutely true, is that September month, everything purple happens. Look at that.
Yes, and there's the proof.
Yeah.
I mean, this beautiful yesterday, today, tomorrow. I love the name. I mean, there's so much to it. And the smell is absolutely gorgeous. I just love the way it's really happy here.
Yes.
You know, you've got to test your plants, because if they're not happy and they're not flowering, then it's time to move them.
And you know,
So
that's
happy.
what I always say, is that gardens have to be fluid.
Yeah.
You have to always say, okay, fine, I've planted it here. If it's not happy, take it somewhere else, and then you'll find the right spot. And this is doing so well here.
Yeah.
Take me to another aspect of your garden.
So this magical little place was inspired by the children.
Yes.
And you know, all the children love sand and can't always take them to the beach, so we thought we'd bring the beach here. And then the palms,
Oh,
the
beautiful.
golden palms.
Yes.
And just again a little detail, another seating place. Actually, Alice, I'll tell you, my husband and I have put a fire in here, and we've sat here on tires.
Oh, lovely.
And had a glass of wine.
Oh, very
Because again,
nice.
you're lower down.
Yes.
And your view changes.
Yes. And you said to me that you bought the sand from the coast.
Yes. Naughty. No one knows that. So yes, again, on a wedding, and it was a friend's property, and they allowed us. So we just brought it out innocently, but it's beautiful white sand.
Yeah,
And
it's coastal sand.
yeah, it's coastal sand. So the
Lovely.
children, build sand castles with their father on Sunday. It's lovely.
Very nice. And I love the little seating area.
Yes.
Yes. I love the way you've done these.
The oriental firs. I
Beautiful.
absolutely love them.
Look at that
Do you know
colour.
what? I killed a few because they're very difficult to maintain.
But they stay this height.
I think they probably go up to about that much.
Yeah.
Again, almost full grown.
What is that?
So this is a candelabra. It was very small when it arrived here from my mother-in-law's garden.
Yes.
They're like a form of succulent.
Yes.
So they often fall because of the weight.
Yes.
But what I learned to do is I cut the tops, heavy branches off, so to lighten it. And it's managed to create a very good foundation at the bottom. So it's just doing so well in this space.
Tell me about this lovely chill area.
Come, Alice, let's have a seat.
Oh, lovely.
In this chill zone, what I call.
Lovely. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so this is again another Zen space in the garden. I come here, lounge in the afternoons, have a cup of tea. In the evenings, we entertain a lot. So we have people over, guests who come and have a pre-dinner drink with the fire going.
Yes, beautiful.
So again, it's a space, and when you're sitting here, again, you've got the textures, you've got the flowers. Yeah. We've got a fence of white bougainvillea, so when it's all in flower, it feels like a waterfall coming down.
Yes, I can imagine. You know what I find so stunning is the way you've combined all this foliage. It almost looks tropical. In a way, you've got your dracenias here, you've got your heliconias there, all surrounding. I feel as if I'm in some sort of tropical forest, but I have the fire. It's like a campsite sort of situation. And look at the rambling rose. Beautiful. This is truly a secret garden because everything is so mysterious and appears suddenly. Now I'm looking at your heliconias and look at that.
Yeah,
it started
they're
flowering.
huge.
Do you use them when you're doing your events?
I do, and I sometimes put them in the house because they're just so pretty.
They're so nice. These cycads, where do you get these from?
Oh wow! I actually brought them down from the coast. So I've got 3 varieties.
Okay.
You've got the very soft
this is really
leaf
soft.
one. It doesn't hurt you. This one pricks. It's got more of a firmer texture, and the leaves are thicker. Its form is very, firm, and
it looks very sturdy.
It's beautiful. The whole look of it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like too much sun, so the shade which is going on around here, it's in a happy place.
Lovely. Now, the thing is that the other thing which I think you do so well is when you grow your plants in containers, because everywhere whether it's in the flower beds. I've seen, I've seen sort of pots that are happening. Now, I've seen this, and you have to tell me about these anthuriums.
When I was younger, I never liked anthuriums. I always thought they were very stiff flowers until I discovered the miniature ones.
Yes.
And they're probably 14 years old. And they were tiny.
Gosh,
they were
and
tiny
so
plants.
healthy.
And people probably think I'm mad when I say I talk to my plants. They give me so much peace that I often sit here on a Sunday and I just clip them. I clip all the dries out. I clip, for example, if this is cut, I take it out because I cut it from the bottom because it's not giving energy to the ones which are coming up.
Absolutely.
So you need to prune them.
Yes.
And turn them, because what happens is if the sun is coming from this direction, all these flowers last week were facing this way. So the more you turn once a week, you tend to have a bloom going on all round. An equal bloom.
And I think a lot of people, I mean, I made that mistake where I have some philodendrons in the house, and my sister, every time she comes, I see her turning it, and I was like, don't touch my plant, but she told me about this.
Clever,
Look
clever
at this,
girl.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And this colours.
Yeah, it's a beautiful purple actually. I actually did a painting on these because they're so pretty. And again, look at this colour, Alice, look. So this has got a pink and green. That's a leaf.
Pretty.
That's an anthurium flower. Look how large it gets.
How large it gets.
Again, when I see it drying, I'll cut it.
Yeah,
Because
and you cut it right down.
Get right down to the bottom.
Yes.
Because now these will get the energy to bloom.
Yes. Now, you see, the thing about your containers, you've got so many beautiful containers. Now, I see a bonsai desert rose. Look at those, the base.
Roots,
yes.
And, they almost remind me of a little baobab tree, but it's just the roots are... Actually, I've killed a few, I have to be honest, because if you leave them out in the rain, and they get wet.
They don't like that. They
don't
get
want
root rot.
They're desert roses, so they don't want any rain.
Yes.
And the pumice helps because it helps
soaking it in.
slowly.
That's a good idea. Yes. And I actually, when I was at the coast at Christmas, I got, when it does flower and then you get these little seeds, the feathery seeds.
Yeah.
I actually managed to propagate.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but I haven't
Alice.
really looked after it.
Oh,
But they're tiny like this.
My gosh.
If you want one, I'll give you one, and then we can nurture it together.
That's such a great tip, Alice. I never knew that. I'm going to look out for those pods.
And if you know how to look after these desert roses, you can actually... Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Let's walk and show me, because this is tell me about your bougainvillea.
Bougainvillea, pot it. It's almost like a miniature. Again, it's like a bonsai. If I were to, I've got very many different types going on here.
So you planted 3 of them in the same pot?
I planted 3, and
That's
this
such
is
a great
the outcome.
idea. Beautiful. Look at that. So this is where you have everything happening, and this ponytail. Wow, you got a nice container for it. Tell me about it.
Again, pots. I love the drama in a pot.
Yes.
It's got to be large, it's got to be small, it's got to be different shaped.
Yes.
And this ponytail it's quite small again. Yes. But it's again so happy here. Yeah. And it's I think potted ponytails look gorgeous.
They always do. And tell me, because I have a ponytail, and I think my mistake is it gets too much sun.
Yes.
Is that the trick?
Yeah, Alice, I think it needs a bit of shade. So we've got sun kind of passing over here. Yes. And in the afternoon we've got full sun over the jacuzzi. But for some reason, again, it's happy because the minute you see the leaves going yellow, move it.
Okay,
so that's
I'll do
your
that
tip.
To mine.
So, just to
Thank you for that
looking
tip.
out for that.
Now, you see, this is what really... wow factor for me, your peace lilies, and the way you've combined, your border here. Now tell me, where did you get this idea?
Like the agapanthus, I think grouping the peace lilies, because when they come out, there's drama.
Yes.
You can see them all like you can see here together.
Beautiful.
And also on this side is my border of
begonias. Yes, amazing.
And I saw this actually when I went to do a wedding in Limuru.
Yes.
And they had it against a wall and a stone wall. So all the pinks of the begonia just popped.
Stunning.
So that, I'm really happy, and they need shade again.
Yeah,
they
they're happy there.
They're just happy. They want sun and shade, I think, to flower.
Yes. And then in between you've put your roses.
The roses.
And I love the orange colour.
So this is a miniature it it flowers. It actually sometimes even goes wild.
Yeah, it
but
looks
we
like
just take it,
almost like a climber.
a creeper. Yeah.
Yeah, but lovely colours. Look at that, beautiful. And this is the finale. It's such a beautiful, I mean, these palm trees in containers, which you're so good at doing. And I really would love to thank you for welcoming us here and showcasing your garden, because it is beautiful.
Oh, Alice, I am touched. Coming from you with so much experience with your red soil going on, I am, you know, I am touched. I mean, it's a little labor of love.
Yeah, and I'm honoured.
Oh, thank you, Alice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So, fellow gardeners, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe to our channel, and also invite your friends and your families. And don't forget to press that notification bell so you'll always be notified when we upload our next episodes. Thank you so much and enjoy your gardening. Thank you, Julna.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Happy
you so
gardening,
much.
everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.